Oh, baby, here we are. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the loneliest night of the week. Welcome to the loneliest show on all of the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sam Roberts. Now, we've got so much to talk about tonight on this loneliest of all nights of the week. If you'd like to contribute, of course, you know what to do. Every super chat will get read. We got movies to talk about. We got video games. We got Gordon Ramsay. We got the plane lady who's talking again. Even theme park news is going wild. And who will be here to monitor all of it with us? Ladies and gentlemen, Izzy, Cootie, Willie, Kenny. I don't know. It's Hot Dog. Hot Dog. Are you there, buddy? I don't know. I guess Hot Dog? Let's try this. You there, bud? I don't know. I guess he's frozen. Well, he's frozen for now, but yeah, still topless. Still very, very topless. So we'll be checking in. I think he just moved. Nope. Still just topless. Just topless. Stationary, but topless. Okay, so we'll check back in with him in a little bit. In the meantime, don't forget to super chat in a little follow-up from last week. Confirmation. We all know this lovable, adorable face, as if to say, who? Me? Come on. Stained with blood everywhere. The macabre humor of Art the Clown, as we talked about. Let's check again. Hot dog? Nope, still topless. As we talked about last week, we found out there were leaks, right? This week, they put Terrifier 2 back in theaters for 2 days. And last week, just as we were coming on to Sam Roberts Now, the poster that they gave out was leaked, and we found out that Art would be joining us for Terrifier 3 in what appeared to be a Christmas movie. We know so much more since that information came out. First of all, the teaser did indeed drop, not on the internet, only in theaters. And if you're watching, there's plenty of leaks of it out there, right? So if you didn't get a chance to go see Terrifier 2 in theaters and you need, plenty of people made bootlegs of it. It's been uploaded. It's on Shorts. It's everywhere if you want to find it. But basically, it is a scene. The implications of it are that Art the Clown may have attacked a young person trying to celebrate Halloween. I don't know for sure. We didn't see any actual action, just the before and quite possibly the after. Now, the thing, and I wasn't surprised at all. The thing about this teaser is that if you look at it, I don't necessarily believe that this is actually a scene from Terrifier 3. I think that Damien and Art the Clown, they got together in this, built a quick set, and they have their premise ready. This might make sense, or it might not. It might not be a Christmas movie, guys. Now, the graphic did have a wreath around it, so maybe it is a Christmas movie, but I don't think that the teaser necessarily is a scene from the movie as much as it is something that was shot specifically to add to a theatrical re-release. I think this because we're not getting this movie, it's official, until October 25th. It's going to be released nationwide and unrated, which is nuts, but that's because that's how Terrifier 2 came out. He makes it on a $250,000 budget. The movie slowly but surely goes from theater to theater to theater until it's got this big release. It made $11 million on a $250,000 budget. So at this point, they can kind of do whatever they want within reason with Terrifier 3. So it is going to get that national release. It is going to come out October 25th of next year. And I think they probably haven't shot it yet. They probably are going to shoot it now. Damien Leone, who did these movies, did an interview as well where he was talking about the franchise and it. And did you see that, Hot Dog? No. Oh, still frozen, still topless. Okay. All right. Well, we'll check in with you again. He said that Terrifier 4 may be where the franchise at. It's really interesting. He's been in the studio before, Damien, and I'm sure that he'll be back before Terrifier 3 comes out. But I want to talk to him because he's such a student of the game that he's got to know that every person who creates a franchise, the way he's created a franchise with Terrifier, goes, my intention is to end it before it gets ridiculous. My intention is to end it with integrity. And I have not yet seen that happen. Even Scream, which I think is per capita the most quality films within a franchise, even that movie, technically it's not over yet. So we can't guarantee that they're going to shut that thing down before it gets insanely silly. They didn't do it with Nightmare on Elm Street. They didn't do it with Halloween. They didn't do it with Friday the 13th. I mean, it's very difficult to do. There's money on the table. So he may not think that we're going to get to see Art in Space, but I think we might see Art in Space. While we're talking about horror sequel news, we also got the news that we're going to get an It Follows sequel. This is something people have been waiting for a long time. They Follow is going to be the name of the sequel. Nobody knows anything about it. I think they're just starting to shoot it. It's supposed to come out like in 2025 sometime. But as we've talked about on the show, Hot Dog, you remember I was telling you? Okay, still frozen, still topless. It Follows is one of the greatest things in recent memory. So the fact that it's getting a sequel is good by me. And Steve Ramirez didn't super chat it in. I would have guaranteed acknowledging it if you had super chatted it in, but I'll acknowledge it anyway, asking if I'm going to see Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm going to see Thanksgiving the weekend it comes out, and you can guarantee we'll have a full discussion on it right here on Sam Roberts Now. I've talked about the fact that I've been playing a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I've been playing on PS5. I've been getting better and better. I'm learning all kinds of tricks. I'm learning all kinds of strategies. I'm getting points. I'm escaping from gas stations and slaughterhouses. So the way Texas Chainsaw Massacre works is that right now, I want to say there's 3 maps. I think there's 3 maps. I think you can escape the family home, the slaughterhouse, and the gas station. There are, I want to say, 6 or 7 victims, of which you pick 1 and 4 play. And then I think there are like 5 or 6 villains, murderers, of which you pick 1 and 3 play. Well, just today, before we get on here, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre account drops a video. And apparently, and Hot Dog, I told you, you kept telling me there was going to be a GTA 6, and there hasn't been. Do you have any explanation for that? No? Just, okay. Frozen, still topless. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre Twitter account for the video game posted this video. I mean, are we excited? What are we seeing here? What are we looking at? I've played this game for hours. I've never seen any of this before. Whoa. And it says, stay tuned. It says, stay tuned. Listen. These are the sounds from the game, but not the visuals. Already, this landscape. I have never seen this before. This well, I've seen before. There are many wells in the different parts of the game. This well, I've never seen before. This gentleman who's approaching the door. I've never seen this gentleman before. I've played as multiple different characters. I've never seen this gentleman before, yet he approaches the door in this landscape that I've never seen before, right? Look at this house. I've not seen this beautiful ranch house before. I haven't seen it. And then he's knocking on the door from the outside. Who's there? I've never seen that woman before. It honestly looks like my grandmother, to tell you the truth. But look, apparently this is a tease that we're getting a new map and new characters added to this Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, which is amazing. The fact that we're getting this thing updated this quickly. Like, I feel like this will be, 2 months after it comes out? And we're already getting updates on it. And not just like updates of there are new skins or new chainsaws or whatever, but a whole new map, characters added to the thing. I'm thrilled. Now, I'll tell you what I'm getting from this whole thing, because they have already in the game the house from the movie, right? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre house, they already have in the game. I am getting big Silence of the Lambs vibes from this house. I'm getting big Buffalo Bill vibes. Now, this is great because Buffalo Bill and Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, when they say based on a true story, it's based on the same true story. It's all based on Ed Gein. Ed Gein inspired the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Ed Gein inspired Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lambs. Ed Gein inspired Psycho, Norman Bates. Ed Gein did all of this. These are 3 completely different movies, although in both Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Silence of the Lambs, be it Hannibal Lecter, they wore flesh on their face. And I don't think that they wore flesh on their face in Psycho, but Norman Bates did dress up as his mother. So you've got that going for you. Now, I'm getting big Buffalo Bill vibes in the sense that, like, I would imagine that although this house looks, I'm going to go as far as to say idyllic. I will go as far as to say that this house looks idyllic. I'm going to imagine that underneath the house, there's some kind of a well, there's some kind of a bucket and pulley system, some kind of a lotion request going on. Like, doesn't this, even the way, like, they open the door, like, doesn't that look like Buffalo Bill? Oh, is she a great big fat person? Like, doesn't that look like that's what we're seeing? I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting those vibes. Maybe I'm missing something. But I'm getting big, like, we're expanding this Texas Chainsaw Massacre universe, and we're going full Silence of the Lambs. And this is great because, like, could you make a Buffalo Bill video game? I don't know. It'd be tough. It'd be tough to announce to everybody, hey, plunk your $40, $60, $80 down and buy this Silence of the Lambs, the video game. But if you can make Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of look like Silence of the Lambs, it's just as good. And then you do get, because, like, Silence of the Lambs, like, if they actually made a Silence of the Lambs video game, it would be so boring. It would be monotonous. Because you know what you'd have to do? You know what they'd concentrate on? They wouldn't concentrate on Buffalo Bill. They wouldn't concentrate on getting out of the well. They would concentrate on, like, solving Dr. Lecter's puzzles. You'd have to solve riddles and piece clues together. Do you hear the lambs, Clarice? You know what I mean? Oh, I know what he meant by that. And you're sitting there. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I just want the climax from that movie in video game form. That's all I want. All I want. Basically, here's what I want. I want the beginning of the game to start with knocking on his door. Like, this is all the pre-credits stuff, right? And I want the real game to start as soon as Buffalo Bill throws down the business cards. When he just kind of drops the business cards down on the floor and then shuts off the electricity and puts on those night vision goggles, that is the game that I want. And I feel like there's a good chance that that's what we're getting. I don't know anything more than anyone else knows. Basically, all of us here tonight for Sam Roberts Now know exactly the same thing. You've all seen the teaser. I've seen the teaser. This is what we're getting. We don't know when this is coming. Some people are hoping it comes this week. Some people think it'll be another month. Some people, maybe it'll be a Christmas miracle. Who knows? I mean, if they're not dropping it soon, then I don't know why they bothered with this teaser, unless it was just like people were starting to lose interest in the game. And now when this comes out, they're like, oh, if there's going to be a new map, I got to make sure that my chops are up. So I don't know, but I'm hoping. Now it looks here, if this is indeed the map, it looks here like there's not that much, because the idea would be that you'd escape through that fence, right? Like, that fence looks like it's going to be the road, but there's a well right there. Now in the game, basically the wells are there so you can escape the killers. Like, if you jump down a well, it's going to send you all the way back down to the basement, but the killer won't be on your ass anymore. So I don't know if you're supposed to escape through that gate and jump down the well. I don't know. Maybe they're going to do it Silence of the Lambs style. Maybe they're going to go full Buffalo Bill. And in this version, you start at the front door. I doubt it. I feel like this is going to be the escape, and we're just showing it this way. But look, If the reason this came out was because you wanted me to speculate upon it, congratulations. Give yourself a round of applause. You did it. You got me thinking. Hot Dog, what's your take on this? Are you... Oh, yeah. Okay. Still frozen. Still topless. But excited. Yeah. I'm going to be a master. I'm going to be a master at this. Now, the only thing is about this, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game is you can't, as of now, choose what map you're playing on, right? It just pops up. Everything's random. You pick your character, but you can't choose the map you're playing. So it's kind of brilliant. They'll get everybody playing again, just hoping they get the new map. And they can master it, become masters of it. It's great. Kevin's saying that that fence isn't real. Well, none of it's real. It's all created, right? This is all animation. But then, really? That fence isn't real, but what is real? From a postmodernist perspective, what is real? Hot Dog, have you thought about that before? No? Just topless and frozen. Okay. All right. Well, no. What is real? I'll tell you what's real. Tiffany Gomas. Tiffany Gomas is real, and she's saying she is real. She's now come out, entered the podcast circuit for the first time to announce that she's real. You guys know that this has been a big story in the Sam Roberts Nowiverse, that we have been following closely the story of the plane lady. I will not say crazy plane lady, because that's very condescending. It's diminutive. It takes away. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe she's perfectly sane. Maybe she saw some wildness that we are not ready for. But I will tell you this. I'm getting more suspicious than I've ever been. So Tiffany Gomas, of course, is the woman who became extremely famous this year for getting removed from a flight. And as she was getting removed from a flight, she let the entire cabin know that before she left, that motherfucker right there is not real. That MFer right there, not real. And then there was there was footage of her off the plane. Everything has been very mysterious. It's been very, very difficult to figure out what order stuff has been shot in. She was found at the airport a few days later. Some people said it was her first flight back. Some people said it wasn't. There is a video of her right when she gets off the plane at the gate, but some people say that it's not right when she gets off the plane at the gate. But she does say that flight is not going to make it. She gets off she says that MFer is not real. And then she says that flight's not going to make it. That flight is not going where it's supposed to be going. And you're like, what the hell is going on? Well, she tried to explain some of this finally. Because, she put out a video. And then, the weirdest part about it was that she launched a social media campaign after it. She wasn't anywhere on social media when this video dropped. And she says that it's because she deleted everything. She wasn't anywhere on social media. And then just all of a sudden, popped back up on all social media platforms and posted this video that was kind of half apologizing, but not really apologizing. And it led to only more questions. We did our own analysis of it. And all the comments were like, no, dude, this isn't the story. This is the only one of the few stories where the longer it goes on and the more information you find out, the weirder it gets. And to me, that hasn't stopped because Tiffany the Great was on Pardon My Take on Barstool, and she sat in the studio with the boys. But this clip came out that they dropped.
I ask again what you saw.
Yeah. The reason why I probably haven't come out yet, because it's so cringe. I did not see anything.
What?
I mean, I think y'all knew that.
Okay.
We honestly had no idea.
Yeah.
You said you did.
Now, see, whoever that was with the follow-up question, that's how you do an interview. Because she goes, you guys probably know I didn't see anything, right? And the guy was like, I mean, I guess. And then the other guy goes, but you said you did see something. And that's what I was thinking. That's exactly when she goes, you know that I didn't see anything. I was thinking the same thing that guy was thinking. You said you did see something, remember?
No, I did not. The
Those
media.
motherfuckers.
You said this motherfucker's not
I
real.
said that motherfucker.
Not this, that.
It's not
Not-
real.
Weird that she's so caught up in the language of it.
Yeah.
all.
These or
Okay.
the, like
Apologies.
yeah. So I got in a bit of an altercation. It spiraled out of control. It was not my best moment. I mean, it was actually a horrible moment. It's absolutely mortifying. So
Everyone has
mortifying.
bad moments on planes.
Yeah, but mine, 450 million plus people have seen it.
Yep.
Like,
It's
it's
that many?
pretty.
Jesus.
That's a lot of people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank God people.
I didn't see anything. And I got into an altercation, but it was embarrassing. What? The stuff that was coming out of your face was nuts. Like this, in the sense that it was alarming is the word. Better than nuts. Alarming is the word, Tiffany Gomas. You said that you saw a MFer that wasn't real. What was that, and why didn't you think the plane was going to get to its destination? I went through the whole thing. She did like a 25-minute interview on Part of My Take, okay? She says she's just a normal person. I can believe that. She's just a normal person, right? Let's see if there's
don't
any
think
more to
it's
this.
me though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm cool
so
with that. I'm
we-
cool
Oh, yeah, and then she gets
with
into...
that. I'm happy if they don't think it's me.
So what you're saying is that clip that we all saw, that motherfucker's not real, is not like you thinking that someone is an alien. It was just the tail end of an argument.
It was an expression of speech.
Okay. So it was just like,
Who's ever used that as an expression of speech? I've heard of, hey, man, keep it real. But I can't believe she was getting off that plane going, there's no way. We all saw this video. There's no way that she was getting off the plane going, hey, that guy's not keeping it real. I only get on planes with people who keep it real. And you, my friend, are not real. It's impossible. It can't be true. That's not how people talk. That's not how thoughts are formulated. I've never described that as not a real person. And also she says she's just a normal person. She says she didn't see anything. She said it was an expression of speech. Oh, sorry.
it's like you had an argument with some guy on the plane, and then as you're leaving, you're like, that motherfucker's not real.
Yeah.
That's
Was it like
crazy.
an arm wrest? Like you guys are fighting
Yeah,
over
what
the
was the
arm
fight
rest?
over?
Okay, great follow-up question.
This
Overhead space.
This is way less crazy, by the way. You're completely vindicated, like, because everyone obviously
Not
said-
really.
They watched the clip and they're like, "Oh, what'd you see? An alien? What'd you see? This?" It's like, no, she was just
Shapeshifter.
saying that motherfucker's not real.
A lot of people think shapeshifter. There have been people who have reported shapeshifter. And when I say reported, I mean assumed.
yeah. I mean, so Daily Mail was like the first to
And then she never gets into what the fight was about or who the fight was with. Nobody stepped forward to say, like, yeah, we were in an argument and she thought I was not keeping it real. I want to know if this is what happened, which is very possible. Who is the person who wasn't keeping it real, and what were they not keeping it real about so much that you got kicked off a plane? She said at one point she didn't understand why the diarrhea on a plane didn't get people to stop talking about her. She said that after her thing, people diarrheaed on planes. And while people talked about the diarrhea ring on planes for a minute, it didn't erase her from the story. People are still fascinated by her thing, and she doesn't understand that. And the guys go, well, maybe it's because you're attractive, which, I mean, doesn't hurt, right? I definitely think that that's part of it. But I think the bigger question is, look, we have all been in scenarios where we are worried about potentially having a diarrhea embarrassment on an airplane or a bus or a train or a movie theater or a concert or a sporting event or school or work or all of the above. None of us have been in a situation where we've been encountered by somebody who was not real. That is the beginning, middle, and end. And I would love to tell her that if I could talk to her. That's the beginning, middle, and end. That you can explain why somebody accidentally made BMs on the plane. because it was a bad day. But what you can't do is explain seeing a potential alien, shapeshifter, person that didn't exist. That's never happened. None of us have even gotten close to that. And that's why, to me, this is so fascinating. She said she was mocking people who thought that she looked and sounded different. Now, I do personally think that this is the same woman as was on the plane. I think that that's the same person. But there are, though, because they said, look, she's wearing makeup here, right? Her hair is pulled back there. Her hair is down and made up. She's, doing a show there. And over here, she's just traveling, pulled her hair back, whatever. There are people, it looks like you could see, I think the jaw structure, the chin is the same. Chin is the same. Nose is the same. I do think it is hilarious that there are people doing sort of full facial construction to figure out if she's the same person or not. But she was almost mocking people for thinking that she had a different voice or that she looked different. And man, I would say that when you start mocking just the thought of it, it doesn't make you seem not guilty.
Take it and run with it. And they're like, she saw a not real person. And I'm like, they are making me look batshit.
Yeah.
They are.
They
are. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine this video coming out and going like, I don't like that the newspapers are making me look like I'm loopy. This is not right.
And I did. I did look absolutely crazy. Mm-hmm. But no, just was in my feels.
Just was in my feels. There's so little information being given. Anything would work here. Give me because there is no way that whatever led to that moment is not entertaining. Nothing about this moment is uninteresting. It's one of the more interesting things that's ever happened on a plane. I would love to get Carrot Top's take on this. Carrot Top was on the flight. Carrot Top of the Las Vegas Carrot Top saw this all go down. I'll bet if you asked him, he'd go, no. She was talking to somebody because first she says, I wasn't talking there. I didn't see anybody. Then she says, I got into a fight with somebody. She doesn't say, and then she says, that motherfucker's not real because it's just a figure of speech. But she doesn't say what the figure of speech means. There are she sat down for 25 minutes. And I'm no more clear on what happened on that airplane than before I had seen this interview. Then they don't talk about the fact that she was talking about the plane like it was Final Destination. That never comes up. I watched the whole thing. Then they go, what do you like to do for fun? Listen to what she says. They go, what do you like to do for fun? You know what she says? Travel. That's what she does for fun. She travels. Do you understand the level of gaslighting that I felt like I was going through? You're telling me that this is just a moment I've never seen anybody have a moment like this on a plane, ever. I've seen people not be the best version of themselves on a plane. I've seen people not have the best day of all time. I've seen people lose patience. I've seen people get into arguments on planes. I've never seen anything like this before, especially from somebody who loves to travel. If you love to travel, wouldn't you think that I'm not going to get into a fight with somebody on a plane so much that I get thrown off the plane accusing them of being not a real person as a figure of speech? That is the follow-up question that needed to be there. When she said it's an expression of speech, I go, what is it intended to mean? Figures of speech, you can't just say them. I can't just say hey, rosebud acorn tree. Sam, why'd you just say rosebud acorn tree? Because it's an expression of speech. You can't, expressions of speech, first of all, not a thing. Second of all, you can't just say expressions of speech just because. They have to mean something. There has to, they have to mean something, and then what they mean would be applied to the context of when you say it. It's like any other sentence. Like if I go, hey, bud, the sky's blue, and you're like, first of all, we're not even outside. Second of all, I didn't ask. Third of all, we were talking about trucks. What do you mean the sky's blue? Why did you say that? There's no context for that. If it is an expression of speech, as she put it, what does it mean? What does that mean?
Needed to get off that. I was highly distressed. Not a good look. It was not a good situation.
Yeah. So was it?
It's not a good look.
So was it armrest? Guy smelled bad.
I was thinking.
No, I
reclined
was
seat.
actually in the aisle seat, and I like gave up my aisle seat because I'm, as you heard me say, I'm only 5'2". My little bratty ass voice. Like, so sorry for that, by the way.
Can't be. You can't, because now I feel like it's like you're trying to send us off the track, like being sort of self-deprecating without actually explaining what happened. Again, it's making me feel like I'm being gaslit.
So gave up. I was in the middle seat, and it was just, there was just a really bad energy, and I don't want to get into like all the details of that. Just
Bad energy.
You know, it's ongoing, and
Yeah.
this is probably not the smartest to get into that. But
Is she? I mean, is there that I don't know about? It's possible. Are there legal things going on? I feel like if there were legal things going on, and she were actually in an altercation with somebody, there'd be some kind of court paperwork or filings or something. But she just said she's in the middle seat voluntarily, which if you love to travel, who just goes like, enjoy, I'll sit in the middle? That's not a thing. I don't know that anybody has ever done that ever in the history. Like, I know people that have donated kidneys. I don't know anybody that's voluntarily taken a middle seat when they had an aisle seat. That is giving to the point that you're like, no. That's like when like the devil comes and offers to make a deal with you. And you go, oh, everything I've ever wanted? Yeah, that's great. And you sign the deal. You don't realize the ramifications of it. Why on earth would you give up an aisle seat to take a middle seat? And then, before the plane even takes off, the plane hasn't even taken off yet. So from the time you sat down until before the plane takes off, we're not even done boarding, or maybe we just finished boarding. We somehow have gone to, I'm in such a good place with you, I will give up my aisle seat and take the middle seat, to now, and I love to travel, by the way, to now, the energy here is so bad that you are not a person, and I'm getting myself kicked off this flight. And I don't know where that flight's going. How? Explain this to me, baby girl. Explain this to me. Tiffany.
yeah,
I feel like you're vindicated now
Yeah,
because
like
it really
What are
was
you
everyone
talking
thought.
about? Big cat? Who would watch this and go like, oh, okay, vindicated?
Like, oh, she saw something. She saw something. She's
She did see something.
crazy. She's on drugs.
I mean, I
like,
wish I
no,
did.
that's just an
it
expression.
would have
Like,
been
that
way cooler
motherfucker's
if I
not
did.
real.
It'd
Yeah.
be way-
That's not an expression, bro. I never heard you say that. You've had episode after episode after episode after episode of Pardon My Take. Never heard you say that motherfucker's not real.
way cooler if I did.
Yeah. Look, a lot of people wondering too. She said on the thing, you guys know I'm not AI, right? And they were like, yes. Barstool is a big company. All I'm saying is, I would love to get to the bottom of this. I am very open to an infinite amount of possibilities, but I will never stop being obsessed. I will watch documentary after documentary. I will watch every interview this woman does. I am obsessed more than ever with what happened on that flight, because once again, she's given more information. She's spoken to us more about what happened. And I feel even more in the dark and more confused than I was the first day that I saw this video. Tiffany, get your ass in the Notsam studio if you're not AI. That's all. That's all we can do. If you're not AI. If you're AI, can't get in, can't come by. Can't be live in studio. If you are, you can't come by. If you're not, I'd love to see you. Hot dog, is that fair? Hot Dog, maybe you're AI. I don't understand what's going on with you. You're frozen, but topless. Did this Tiffany get to you with a ray gun or something? I don't know. We'll keep checking in, buddy. We'll keep checking in. Listen, this guy right here, and before we get to Gordon Ramsay, I do want to remind you guys that the Satisfying Podcast is thriving right now. The podcast that Nicole Biggins from the Morning Mashup and I are doing, we started it here on the Not Sam channel, did 4 pilot episodes. That show now lives exclusively on the Satisfying Pod YouTube channel. So if you want to check out the podcast that Nicole and I are doing, go over after tonight's show to youtube.com/@satisfyingpod. New episode went up on Thursday, so we've got episodes 1 and 2 both up over there. I'm having such a good time doing them. We're breaking down so much stuff. This time, we got our hands all over the audio from Britney Spears' book, where she's talking about Justin Timberlake, as read by Michelle Williams. It's incredible. And Nicole just found out about toasters and mousse. You know, taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Internet icons. Nicole found out about them. We did a deep dive, told their story. It's all part of this week's episode of Satisfying, which you can get at youtube.com/@satisfyingpod. Make sure you're subscribed to that channel, and make sure you're subscribed to this channel, because we're always doing cool stuff here, not just doing Sam Roberts Now and uploading clips from Sam Roberts Now during the week, but you never know who's going to pop by the Not Sam studio later this or next week, I should say, technically. But within the coming days, we'll have an exclusive sit-down in-studio interview with the unstoppable Angela Lee from the One Fighting Championship organization. She has an incredibly fascinating story at 26. I think she's 27 now. Retired from the world of MMA as the atomweight champion. Gave up that title. And has moved on to everything she's doing now. We get into all of it, and that'll be coming in the coming days here on the Not Sam channel. So make sure you're subscribed to @satisfyingpod for the stuff I'm doing with Nicole, and for stuff like this show and my interview later this week with the unstoppable Angela Lee. Subscribe to Not Sam. Just hit the subscribe button as you're watching this. I'll tell you what I'm locked into. Gordon Ramsay. Look at Gordon Ramsay up there. Just sitting in the kitchen. See, all these chefs, they're all so busy. But you know what Gordon Ramsay is busy doing? Hot Dog, you got any guesses? Topless. Still frozen. Okay. No guesses, Hot Dog. Nothing? Just no shirt, though, either. Okay. Gordon Ramsay is busy taking no guff. My man takes no guff. And it's really interesting with Gordon Ramsay. I've been a fan of Gordon Ramsay's television shows for a very long time, you know, whether it's Kitchen Nightmares. I loved Hell. No, that's right. He did Kitchen Nightmares. That's Hell's Kitchen, right? Where the chefs have to compete. He did Hotel Hell, which I thought was weird. That's when he was doing like the Kitchen Nightmares thing, except for hotels. But he's a chef. He doesn't run hotels. So that one I wasn't on board with. But then he also did like Kitchen 911, where like it was like Kitchen Nightmares, but also like Bar Rescue, where you had like one day to completely fix your restaurant, which that was a little much, but whatever. It was okay. They found some nightmares. But really, for me, Kitchen Nightmares is the creme de la creme of the Gordon Ramsay universe. But it kind of went away. You know, this was all this, like, I don't know, mean reality show guy. This was very much a product of a few years back. You know, Simon Cowell kind of got the ball rolling, I feel like, on mean reality TV show people. And then that went to the moon, but it kind of, I want to say died down, right? Like John Taffer with that chin up. What makes you think that you can run this bar properly? What makes you think that you can talk to me like that? You know, John Taffer figured it out. Like, he is unstoppable, just like Angela Lee. Gordon Ramsay is too. I love what Gordon Ramsay is doing right now because Gordon Ramsay is ignoring the traditional rules, right? Like, I think a lot of people in the Gordon Ramsay position who became very famous in the big sort of height of competition, trashy reality show era have tried to reinvent themselves. And a lot of them it hasn't worked because you can't do that. You're so known for this thing just because the culture kind of shifts over here and TV shows kind of shift over here. It doesn't mean you can go with it. You're still attached to this. So Gordon Ramsay, instead of being like, yeah, I got to figure out what the next thing is, he goes, wait a minute. What if I just stick to the original recipe? All these reality show people, they're going full Coke too. And you don't go Coke too. Gordon Ramsay says, what if I go Coca-Cola Classic? And just go like, yeah, I get it. Everybody's changing things up. Everybody's doing something different. I'm going to do the exact same thing over here. And let's see if you're into it. And I will tell you, for me, it's like comfort food. I love it. So I thought this was like a one-off thing. I noticed that he was doing this, but I never brought it up here on the show because I thought it was a one-off thing. There's a very select few television shows that I will just watch just for me, right? I'm not going to talk about them on the air. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit there and enjoy it. I'm not going to worry about figuring out a take or details, nothing. And for me, Gordon Ramsay's Food Stars was one of those shows. Gordon Ramsay's Food Stars was, there was something, it was on like, I don't know if it was Wednesdays or something like that, but I used to DVR it and I would watch it when I would have like a little bit of free time. And there was something to me that was so bizarre about it because it was like a relic, but it was a new show. The idea was that like 8 people come together on this cast, or 12 people or 16 people or however many people it was, and they would have to complete tasks, and every week somebody gets eliminated, and at the end somebody gets proclaimed as they're now a television food star. And I'm like, this is like Celebrity Apprentice. This is like any of those shows that were super popular like 12 years ago. But you never see these shows anymore. People have realized that we've seen every iteration of them. And I go like, what is Gordon Ramsay going to do on this show to make it different? What is Gordon Ramsay going to do on this show to modernize it? And you know what Gordon Ramsay did? Not a goddamn thing. Nothing. He kept it true to form. He just said, no, we're going to go right back to the original recipe. We're going to use the original formula. We're going to go Coca-Cola Classic, and we're just going to have these people doing weird food tasks, and there's going to be an elimination every week, and there's going to be drama. There's going to be one cast member that nobody else gets along with. There's going to be one cast member that gets sick, and you have sympathy for her. There's going to be one cast member who in the beginning is kind of quiet, and we don't realize, but towards the end comes out and wins the whole goddamn thing. We're going to stick to the rules of 2005 reality TV, and we're just going to do that. And somehow Fox was like, all right, yep, let's do it. And you know what? Good on them. I'm glad they did. I'm glad they didn't try to reinvent the wheel. I love that this is the exact same show that I would have seen 12 years ago. If you told me that this show was made in 2011, I would go, yeah, that sounds right. But it's not. It was 2023. And I go, okay, well, maybe Gordon Ramsay is just like dipping his toe in the way things used to be, because he's going to come out the other end and go, all right, here we are, right? We got this new thing. But you know what he does after this Food Stars thing, which I guess must have been successful because he got another show after that? He brings back the classic Kitchen Nightmares. He returns to Kitchen Nightmares, and nothing has changed. Kitchen Nightmares was one of the great reality shows. Between Kitchen Nightmares and Bar Rescue, I could watch episodes for hours. Hours. You tell me there's a Kitchen Nightmares or a Bar Rescue marathon on a channel, just leave me alone. If I'm traveling and I'm in a hotel room and I'm not with my family, I'm traveling for work or something, I'm not going out for the evening if I find Bar Rescue, Kitchen Nightmares, or Undercover Boss. Yeah, Undercover Boss too. And Undercover Boss hasn't figured out how to make a comeback yet. Bar Rescue never had to leave because it's so damn good. Kitchen Nightmares realized, wait, we could just start doing the show again. And they have. I think the last season was in 2014, 9 years ago. 9 years ago, we said goodbye to our sweet prince's, to me, greatest journey, Kitchen Nightmares. And in 2023, we are gifted with the return. Now, Kitchen Nightmares hit its real peak with this episode. Amy's Baking Company, the Crazy Amy episode of Kitchen Nightmares. I mean, I remember when it first aired, you know, and this was towards the end, I think, of the Kitchen Nightmares run. And maybe that's why Kitchen Nightmares had to bow out for 9 years, because they were never able to get a show as good as this episode. I remember when I was doing like my own solo podcast, not on YouTube, just with a Yeti microphone, sitting in the kitchen of my one-bedroom apartment and playing clips of this Amy's Baking Company episode of Kitchen Nightmares. Amy's Baking Company episode of Kitchen Nightmares is quite simply one of the greatest episodes of any television show that's ever existed. You have The Office dinner party episode. You have The Sopranos, where Christopher and Paulie get lost in the woods together. Pine Barrens. And then you have Kitchen Nightmares, Crazy Amy's Baking Company. I mean, this show, Crazy Amy, she loves her cats. She's got big, wide eyes the whole time. She's married to this dude who's like a gangster guy. He's like yelling at everybody, ready to fight people. They don't allow their wait staff to keep their tips. I mean, watch this. It's so good. I'm only going to play a minute of it because I'll probably get busted.
Oh my God. Am I sure?
Like he's so mad at them because the one thing that Gordon Ramsay hates, and he hates to this day because I've seen it on the new episodes, Gordon Ramsay hates a frozen ravioli. Raviolis, pizzas, calamari, any of that stuff. You serve it to him frozen, he's furious. You kidding me? You're kidding me. This guy hates frozen raviolis more than anyone I've ever seen hate anything. And so he's already on her ass about the frozen raviolis. And she, this Crazy Amy, is so annoyed. She goes, people love my frozen raviolis. He goes, they're not yours. I don't remember the exact quote, but that's basically the argument. Here you go.
What a little shit.
Amy.
I'm not going to talk to you right now because I have to concentrate on the
Then stop concentrating.
I will. There's no point.
Listen to the music. It's such heightened emotion.
Talking to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And the pizza? The food is leaving the kitchen at a snail's pace.
Oh, this must be like the Scottish version or something. Hot dog, I thought you sent me the right link. Oh, hot dog's frozen, still topless.
And it doesn't appear to be worth the wait.
You can take this back too.
Oh.
You didn't like it? Okay.
But see, that's how you know it's good. This restaurant is in Arizona. Or it was. I think it's closed now. But even in Arizona, they're like, we have a restaurant that's so nuts, they're going to want to play it in all parts of the world. The voiceover guy is like some guy from Wales. In Europe, they're like, you got to get a load of this Crazy Amy's Baking Company.
When food's not eaten, do they tell you?
No. Every single time a customer doesn't lick their plate, the waitress doesn't come to tell me that.
Yeah, I love that. She's like, get the hell out of here, Gordon Ramsay. Anyway, you got to see this whole episode. I could just play clip after clip after clip of it. But so Kitchen Nightmares is now back. And they are trying to duplicate it a little bit. They haven't quite gotten there. But this guy's pretty iconic. He's a culinary gangster. Now, what made Amy's Baking Company episode so great was that they kept that same energy. They said Chef Gordon Ramsay is not going to come in here and push us around. And not only was he not going to come in there and push them around, but once he did, they were like so nuts to deal with that he left. He split. He didn't help them at all. He didn't do a thing. It was great. This guy, there are a lot of guys this season that are like, let me tell you something. Chef Gordon Ramsay comes in here and gets in my face. I'm going to get back in his face. And every single time that happens on one of these episodes, Chef Gordon Ramsay gets in their face and they go, yes, chef, yes, chef, yes, chef, yes, chef. You always know, too. I mean, it's instant cringe when somebody goes, you know, I'm not just a chef, and then opens their shirt. Like when the ending to your sentence is on your t-shirt and you're showing your t-shirt, it's tough. Because it doesn't add more credibility to his claim that he's a culinary gangster because he's got a shirt that says culinary gangster. That would be like me saying, you know, a lot of people think I'm not the nature boy Ric Flair, but look at that. Nature boy Ric Flair says on the shirt. It's like a regular cowboy hat, but it's big. It's bigger than most hats. Culinary gangster. This was episode 2. I mean, I can't believe as I'm watching these episodes of Kitchen Nightmares that they're modern episodes. That like they go to a diner in Queens, and I'm like, that's now. Like I could just go to Queens and go to that diner and be like, I remember this from Kitchen Nightmares. Plus, for some reason, they just decided, like, every restaurant that I've watched so far, I've watched like 3 or 4 episodes this season, and they're all like in New York or New Jersey. They just didn't want to travel. I feel like they went to Fox and said, look, we'll knock out the entire season in like fly us out to Jersey and give us 2 weeks. We'll do the whole season. Because it's all like within driving distance of each other. But it's great. I love him. I love the culinary gangster. He's yelling at this one woman's kids. That was another one. Then that episode after this, these 2 kids. They're like working in a pizza parlor. They're like, yeah, Chef Gordon Ramsay gets in my face. I'm going to tell him, get out of my face. And then Chef Gordon Ramsay gets in their face. And they're like, oh, yeah, we didn't know. We didn't know she was in debt that much. It's great. It's great. It's such a throwback. I never thought that I would see it again. People are commenting in the chat about his style of his facial hair, that he's decided to grow the Big Papa Pump handlebar sides. But I've never seen on the culinary gangster. And he is a culinary gangster. It takes a culinary gangster to pull off a look like this. I've never seen just the handlebar parts of the mustache dyed. Like you can see up here, the mustache is not dyed. That's flesh. That's his flesh. And then the mustache is shaved down. So you can see the dark, thin mustache. But then he just bleached these 2 stripes in his chin. And then and this is a pick, huh? Culinary gangster in the same font. I don't know if you guys pick up all the nuance that's going on here. That's the same font from the movie The Godfather. So it's got to be the real deal. And he wasn't a gangster on the show anyway. Maybe he's a gangster in real life. I don't know the guy. But, Chef was like, you're an idiot. He was like, sorry about that. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying, right, Hot Dog? You there, buddy? No? Topless? I know you're yep. Topless and frozen. All right, well, I guess we'll keep working on it. But yes. If you need to just, these are the shows that help me decompress. These are the shows that help me just, because there's nothing to them. There's no stress. I guess some people get stressed out by, the music is like, what are we going to do? But I'm like, this is such absurdity. And the fact that it's still happening in 2023 makes me so very happy that it's hard for me to fully explain how good I'm feeling right now. But if you are feeling good, I want you to let me know if there's anything that you think we should have covered tonight, If there's anything that you want me to expand further upon, super chat in. Every super chat gets read here on Sam Roberts Now. So super chat in. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We've got a bunch of content coming this week. Don't forget to subscribe to the @SatisfyingPod YouTube channel, youtube.com/@SatisfyingPod to see the podcast that Nicole Biggins and myself are doing every single week. It's a lot of fun. Let's get into these super chats now. Six Crow. Oh, actually, Hot Dog, is it time to do super chats? Okay. He's frozen, I guess. But I'm gonna say based on nipple placement, it is time for super chats. All right, let's do super chats. Six Crow, thank you very much for being our financier. Always appreciate it. Steve Ramirez. Oh, Steve, look at what a good guy Steve is, huh? I read Steve's chat, even though it wasn't a super chat, and he super chatted in to make up for the fact that I did that. Steve, you are a gentleman and a scholar, and I appreciate you. B Herb 76, F Mary Kill for Hot Dog. Oh wait, frozen with no shirt on. No wonder he's so frozen. It's cold out there. He's got no shirt on, nipples. Not Sam Lehman. If Buffalo Bill gets added, we should have a choice to play as Clarice or Joe Dirt. I would play as Joe Dirt every time. All right, all right. Pinky Schultz, Sammy Solo Muffins. It's the loneliest of Fridays. I tell you, I don't disappoint. This show is for the lonely. That's what we do it for. But that's a good thing. We're taking it back. Poodle-rific. Loving the replays this week. Colin Quinn judging the Halloween parade, not knowing the Teft costume backstory was iconic. I don't remember which Halloween parade Colin judged. But now I wish we'd had him in this year. We got to make that a regular thing. Thank you for the reminder, Poodle-rific. Remind me before Halloween next year, and we'll try to get Colin Quinn in because he's a genius. B-Herb 76, no regrets, F Mary Kill, Nancy Grace, Jesse Ventura, or Scorch. Well, I'm definitely marrying Scorch because Scorch is that dude. He is the man. I guess if I had to F either Nancy Grace or Jesse Ventura, it's got to be Jesse Ventura. So, unfortunately, Nancy Grace going to get it. Six Crow. Oh, missed you. Six Crow. I just watched Crazy Amy's Bakery episode yesterday on the Hell's Kitchen Nightmare channel. Is there? Yeah. I mean, there's multiple versions of the Crazy Amy's episode on YouTube. So just, yeah, treat yourself to it. It's so good. Capone 609. Nightmare, not nightmare. I messed up the first time. I stink. Okay. Oh, that's so funny. The first super chat said nightmare, not mere. And then he's like nightmare, not nightmare. I love people who correct you, but they typo when they're correcting. It's not that easy. If you can't type, right? All you have to do is type one super chat in and get it right. I'm sitting here by my lonesome because Topless Hot Dog hasn't said a word all night. And you're going to get me on my pronunciation? That doesn't seem very fair. I'm glad you learned your lesson. And I appreciate you very much, Capone. You're the man. B-Herb76 says, be honest. Hot Dog is picking up a 90-Day Fiancé. I'm going to tell you something right now. Hot Dog thinks he broke his arm. And that's not a joke. I can't wait to talk to this kid when he gets back at some point. Hot Dog, the reality is this is, believe it or not, that's a photo from Hot Dog last week. Hot Dog is he's in Japan right now because he thinks he's a college kid and he can go to Japan with his friends. You know what I mean? And last night they all got hammered and he like jumped over a fence, which is literally how my sister like broke her ankle when she was in college. Like it's a thing that you do when you're 19 or 20. Get all hammered, try to jump over a fence and break a bone. I'm sure most of you guys watching this have a story like that happened in your 20s. Hot Dog is in his mid-30s at this point, let's be honest, and decided, I can't let it go yet. Let me go get hammered and jump over this fence. He's been in Japan for 2 days. 2 days, he's there for 10. He's got another he's got more than a week there. He's got like another 8 days in Japan, and he thinks his arm is broken. And his plan right now is, because he can't move it, but his plan right now is to sleep it off. And I texted him back. I said, that's a good idea. And here's what I told him. The other night, I had a headache. Went to bed, woke up the next morning, no more headache. Get some rest, big guy. I'm sure that arm will be fine. I am going to pray tonight before I go to bed that his arm is indeed broken, because what could possibly be funnier than Hot Dog breaking his arm 2 days in to his 10-day trip to Japan? It's also the most Hot Dog story I've ever heard in my life. Eli Silver, thank you for the contribution. Oh, first super chat. First super chat, Eli. Congratulations, buddy. You're the man. Capone says I blew it. You're still the man, Capone. Don't you worry about that. Lord Zod, any new horror films that you're looking forward to seeing? Well, I never saw The Nun 2, so I'm pretty psyched about the fact that that's streaming on Max right now, because I'm going to see The Nun 2. I don't have the highest expectations in the world, but I'm going to see it. I am, as I said earlier in the show, out of my mind for Thanksgiving. I can't wait to see this Thanksgiving movie. I feel like there was something else. I feel like what? I'm going to Fandango real quick. Fandango, because I feel like there was another movie, not the ones that I talked about, because those are coming out in like a year, right? Like Terrifier 3, the It Follows sequel. Man, I feel like there was another one, but I can't think of it right now, and I'm not seeing it as it pops up. But I did this week rewatch Infinity Pool. I love that Infinity Pool movie. I thought it was great. So you can watch that. But yeah, I guess Thanksgiving is probably the next one that I'm most excited about. If you got any recos, hit me. Hit me all the time. Nathan Gerald, it's a few days late, but I got a tree on my house. It is a few days late. 3 days past Jocktober. Eli Silver, how about a kitchen nightmare in an airplane with a crazy passenger? I wouldn't mind that. I would love to see what the airplane lady does for a business, because I would love to, whatever she does, which I think she said she's in PR, she's self-employed. Again, I watched her whole interview. I would love to see Chef Gordon Ramsay follow her around and correct her on things and have her argue with Chef Gordon Ramsay back, because I'd love to see how long it took before she went, "You're not a real person, dude. You are not a real person." Let's see. Last one, Poodlerific. Another reminder, Doug Bell sit down in studio. Yeah. Oh, Rivolo saying, what Thanksgiving movie? Check out the trailer. It looks amazing. But yeah, I do need to work on getting the Doug Bell sit down happening. I'm going to have to go through Jim Norton, I think, on that. And I forgot I left Hot Dog up the whole time. I'm going to try to make that happen. Hey, guys, I appreciate you hanging out tonight. Don't forget to hit like on this video. A lot of you are watching. Not that many have hit like, unless you don't like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But, if you like it, hit like. We'll see you again real soon. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to youtube.com/@satisfyingpod. And we'll see you next time. Hey, you got 5 styluses. You might as well use them. I'm going to share this with you later.